Be welcome to teleSUR English. Now we go live to Honduras as the National Electoral Council offers preliminary reports on the general elections outcome.
También saludamos a la mesa principal integrada por la consejera secretaria la abogada Rixi Moncada, que nos acompaña. La consejera vocal, la doctora.
So the consular lawyer is here with us now, and we also have Kelvin Aguirre, who under the rule of the Constitution, we are going to give the first report now after 3 hours of the pollings are closed. So we are now, after 3 hours of the pollings are closed, we are under the law of the Honduran law, we should give now the report. So Kelvin Aguirre will give the report, the first report. Good evening to all the observers, the international observers and national observers, also to the Honduran people. This is a historical moment. So according to the Honduran law, I will now read the Agreement 21, in which we have approved, and it has been approved by the board of the National Electoral Council. So the board of the National Electoral Council, according to the Constitution of the Republic and the electoral rules, we address to the Honduran people to present, and also to the observers, to the international observers, to the international audience, we are going to now make public this agreement. First of all, we want to congratulate to the Honduran people because they have demonstrated today that it's possible to carry out this process. The Honduran people have demonstrated that we can build a peaceful future with democracy. We have achieved a very historical turnout during this election. Secondly, we are very happy to inform to Honduras that the IT biometrical system has been a very important element in this process to guarantee the accurate result of this process. So right now, we are only lacking 3,000 registrations. So we right now have more than 3 million electors who went to vote, which means that is the 62% of the people who register went to vote. Third, we want to also emphasize the high security level that has been carried out through these elections. We have to say this has been a very good example of a process. Let's see what will happen in the future years. So we are very sure that this has been a very successful process, and we knew that when we assumed this mission in the year 2019. Fourth, according to the law 279 article of the law of the Republic of Honduras, that 3 hours after the polling stations are closed, in these public sessions we inform the initial cut, the initial results from the screening process of the elections. We have analyzed more than 2,000 report sheets. We will give more details now about the results. We will show you on the screen according to the different results from the departments of the nation, from the regions. So we will continue listening to the president of the National Electoral Board. In brief, they will give the first cut, the initial cut, that represents the 60% of the results of the elections. In short, we will see the results, the initial results of the elections. This represents 62% of the people who were in the census, in the electoral census. We are still waiting. As he mentioned before, they will only read only the initial cut according to the report sheets that were counted, that so far has been more than 2,000 reports. So we will see that on the screen now. We are here organizing you, all the international observers, all the people who are accompanying us, also the Honduran people, and also the mass media. These are the first cut of the general elections 2021. So please, we call you to be patient. This is the venue where they have decided to gather to show the results. The National Electoral Board. And the President will read the report. And in the report, they have counted so far 2,929 report sheets. They also have emphasized that there has been a historical turnout in these elections. This also shows 62% of the census of the people who were registered to vote. And according to the counted report sheets, it's 60% only. So this is only the preliminary results. So we really hope that the technical problems are solved soon so that they can show the results, the first cut. So another news before we see the chart of the first cut is that the political parties, the media, and the observers, they are also working the screening of the reports. And they are also able to check what's happening in the venue, on the head office of the National Electoral Council. Also to emphasize how the Honduran people have been showing how they are so committed to these elections, and they have been assisting and attending to all these polling stations till late at night, in the afternoon. Also in the polling stations, people needed to take decisions according to whether when to close or not, so they allowed all the people who went there to cast their votes. Also, the international observers have been also touring around the polling stations. Right now, you can see we have the three main members of the board of the National Electoral Council. So what do you think about this? 2,929 report sheets that represent the 16% of the total. And this is what they have 3 hours later of the finalization of the polling, of the elections. Well, so far we need to see first the first cut to analyze if we have a tendency here. But I think that the 60% for me is very low. But I think it is time for us to accept that this will be a regular rate of results. But for me, 60% is very low. It doesn't represent a strong base. So I don't think this is a good statistic to
At this time, we were listening live statements from Honduras National Electoral Council that offer preliminary reports on the general elections outcome. The electoral body praised the Honduran people for the calm and peace during the voting day and also thanked the armed forces for their role in the safeguards of the process. This was a voting day with forecasts of violence, let's remember that. The official body reported a turnout of about 3,221,264 voters, which amounts to a 62% turnout. Stay with us because we have more information. Well, we have more information right now in this minute. In this case, the electoral body in Honduras is counting with the 50%, about the 60% of the tallies of these general elections counted. In this case, the 50% is too low, but they are giving preliminary reports. As we know, some pollsters are giving preliminary results. In this case, the Vote pollster gave some data, some preliminary reports and outcomes of these elections. In the case of Xiomara Castro de Celaya, she is the leftist presidential candidate, the progressive presidential candidate. Also, she is the wife of the former president, Celaya. Also, we have more information in this minute.
So according to the votes, so according to the vote, there are 5,077. That is the total. We are seeing the department's data now. There are. We can see also the Department of Colón. And we can see 19,000 votes that were counted. We can also see Comayagua Department. There were more than 300 votes that were counted. In Copan, 226,000. In Cortés, 113,000. Choluteca, 27,000 votes that were counted. El Paraíso, more than 38 votes. Let's continue. Francisco Morazán, 79,000 voters were counted. Gracias a Dios, 2,181 votes were counted. In Tibucá, 11,127 votes were counted. Isla de la Bahía, 3,175 votes. La Paz, 9,514 votes were counted. Lempira, 21,467 votes were counted. Ocotepeque, 15,039 votes were counted. Olancho, 36,817 votes were counted. Santa Barbara, 49,864 were counted. Will you go to Valle Department now? Valle, 23,361 votes counted. Lloro, 35,462 votes were counted. And abroad, we haven't received any report from voters outside Honduras. These are the total of 5,077.65 votes that were counted. I repeat, this is the first cut, this is the initial results, and this represents 16.1%. And that represents more than 18,000 in the presidential election. Regional elections. Now we will read the votes from the parties. Xiomara Castro, in the initial cut, she received what represents 53% of the votes. The National Party, Nasry Juan, with 189,451 votes, and Gianni Benjamin from the Liberal Party, 51,044 votes. From the Hondurans, Milton Benitez, Romeo Velázquez Party, 932,000. Alessandra Esmira, 73,000. Nueva Ruta Party,
Partido Unificación Democrática, José Alfonso Díaz Narváez, 629 votos.
629 votes for José Alfonso, 542 for Marlon O'Neill from Honduras. We are all Honduras. Central Party, José Ramón Coto, 327 votes. Dignity and Hope, 261 votes. 239 votes to Democratic Liberation Party, for a total of 10,049 votes. And blank votes. And we also have a very high number of blank votes that are 19,000. So these are the initial results that we are presenting. So we were saying, so far, any candidate from any party can call him or herself the winner so far, because we still need to analyze about 44%, 84% of the report sheets. Remember that there are polling stations that we don't have connection with them, and we don't have connection with them, communication with them right now, so we need to wait for the results from those polling stations. Also, to emphasize that we have up to 30 days after the elections are over to present the final result. And in that sense, we will be presented systematically and according to the Honduran law. We will keep you updated about the results. So till we finalize the screening of the report sheets in the different electoral levels. From all the polling stations that were organized, so these are only the preliminary results, and we are presenting this according to the constitution from our country. So on the chart, you can see the different data from the departments. You can also check those on our servers on the web. Also, the observers have been able to access the servers so they can continually see the results. They can see the department, the region, as we gave a brief before. So this will be our first initial cut from the elections, from the screening of the elections. And once again, we made a call to all of you so that we get the final results. And every time we'll give a report, we will give details about the region, the department, how many report sheets we need to analyze to assess, the ones that were not transmitted, that we didn't receive the communication, so that we can give clear information to the Honduran people. We thank you all for the attention, and we close this press conference. These are the results of the first electoral cut. These are the initial results. We can say that 53.42% for Xiomara, and on the other side, Nasry Aznura party obtained 34.0% of the turnout during this initial cut.
We were listening live statements from Honduras' National Electoral Council that offer preliminary reports on the general elections outcome. The electoral body praised the Honduran people for the calm and peace during the voting day, and also thanked the armed forces for their role in the safeguards of the process. The officials also reported a turnout of 3,221,264 voters, which amounts to a 62%. After over 15% of the electoral report sheets counted, the Electoral Authority offered regional countings. In the initial count, sets Xiomara Castro de Zelaya on the lead with 53.34% of the votes. She is followed by Nasry Aznura of the National Party, who receives 34.01% of the votes. Therefore, despite vote counting continue, so far the Freedom and Liberation Party, also the Refundation Party, leads the presidential race. Stay with us.